at 9.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime News, live from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I'm Madhushka Balasuriya.
And I'm Nicola D'Souza.
And today Sri Lanka celebrated the 66th Independence Day as one nation under one flag.
Newsfirst extends its warm wishes for a long-lasting independence.
But for that, let's start off with a look at your headlines.
Headlines on Newsfirst at 9.
66th Independence Day celebrated in Kegol. The attempts to level charges of war crimes against Sri Lanka in Geneva is the triumph of those who are not in favour of peace. A statement by the President. Two main political parties are set to hand in their nominations for the provincial council polls tomorrow and the day after. World Health Organization says cancer cases tipped to rise 57% in 20 years.
Newsfirst at 9.
President Mahinda Rajapaksa, in his address to the nation at the 66th Independence Day celebrations today, said that attempts to level charges of war crimes against Sri Lanka in Geneva can be viewed as the triumph of those who are not in favour of peace.
Yes, in his address, the President added that the people of the country should have the right to live freely.
The 66th Independence Day celebrations commenced this morning, centering the Kegol town. The ceremonies to mark the 66th Independence Day commenced subsequent to the arrival of President Mahinda Rajapaksa. After the national flag was hoisted, the national anthem was sung by a group of students. A moment of silence was observed as a mark of respect for the fallen heroes. The three armed forces then accorded a guard of honor for the President.
හැටහයවෙනි නිදහස් දෙනිය වෙනුවෙන් මේ ජාතික දජය අපේ සුවයේ.
We have unfurled the national flag today to mark the 66th anniversary of independence, when the whole of Sri Lanka enjoys freedom. Freedom means responsibility. Yet, previous governments were not prepared to shoulder the responsibility of liberating the country from terrorists or building the economy. There were airlines, gas companies, estate houses and insurance companies. We have given them to people's ownership. We took the responsibility of building highways and a modern roadways network, new ports, a new airport, and became the only Asian country to provide 24-hour electricity to the entire country. Today, people in the north enjoy wide-ranging freedom. 3 decades of suffering ended on May 19th, 2009. Since then, there has been no bomb explosion or shooting by terrorists. I see the attempts to level charges of war crimes against us in Geneva as the triumph of those who are not in favour of peace. These are not founded on peace, fair play or justice. We categorically state here that we are not ready under any circumstances to deprive our country of the freedom that we have won.
The President also spoke in the Tamil language.
කසප්පාන අනුභවම් கடலோரம் மண்ணில் எழுது வேண்டும் நல்ல அனுபவம் கல்லில் போரிக்க வேண்டும் அப்படித்தான் பழக வேண்டும் அதுதான் முக்கியம் கடலோர மண்ணில் எழுதியது மறையும், ஆனால் கல்லில் பொறித்தது ஒரு நாளும் மறையாது, சதா காலம் அப்படியே இருக்கும்.
Subsequent to the President's address to the nation, a march past was accorded to the President. The three armed forces, the Sri Lanka Police and the Civil Defence Force also took part in the 66th Independence Day celebrations.
වසර 58ක් පුරාවට අභිමානවත් මෙහෙවරක් ඉටු කර ඇති රෙජිමෙන්තුව නිර්භීත වේගවත් යන තේමා පාඩු සිවිල් ආරක්ෂක බලකායේ වසර 5ක සේවා කාලය සමග වසර 39කට අධික සේවා කාලය තුල ලබාගත් අත්දැකීම් තුල
Many cultural events added colour to the ceremonies.
3050 பேருடைய அணிவகுப்பு ஏற்பாடு செய்துள்ளனர்.
At 9.
Our forefathers for the independence we celebrate today should not be confined to the history books.
Let's take a brief look at Sri Lanka's journey to independence.
On more than one occasion, colonial powers fought over ownership of our motherland, which was rich in natural resources and was known the world over as the Pearl of the Indian Ocean. Although the Portuguese and the Dutch failed to conquer the entire nation, the English, through their shrewd strategy of divide and conquer, preyed on existing fissures and succeeded in achieving what those who preceded them couldn't. This success on the part of the English was marked with the signing of the Kangin Convention in March 1815. Several rebellions against British rule arose in the following years to free our nation from the conqueror's yoke. The first of these was the rebellion in Vallassa and Uva. While heroes of the rebellion fought for independence on the battlefield, political leaders fought battles in the arena of various forums. Reforms were implemented by the British on numerous occasions, but none served to satisfy the thirst for freedom. The end result was freedom from the colonial power on the 4th of February 1948. The flag that was lowered in 1815 once again flew proudly over a free, independent and proud people in 1948. On this, our 66th anniversary of our independence, let us remember those who sacrificed all to enable us to say that we are Sri Lankan.
Meanwhile, President Mahinda Rajapaksa, in his message to mark the 66th Independence Day of Sri Lanka, says that he reiterates the commitment to safeguard the freedom and rights of the people and decide on a future that is free of dictates from the re-emerging forces of colonialism.
In his message, President Rajapaksa says that the freedom strengthened by the defeat of separatist terrorism attributes the expeditious journey towards progress. The President adds that the strength of our freedom largely depends on developing indigenous skills and knowledge to restore the glories of our past and move ahead to the victories of the future. President Mahinda Rajapaksa adds that he shares the dream to strengthen the Sri Lankan nation under a single flag in a united country, and achieving this requires hard work coupled with diligence and honesty. In his Independence Day message, Prime Minister G.M. Jayawartne says that at a time the nation is celebrating the 66th Independence Day, everyone needs to keep in mind that they should render a collective support to the massive task of uplifting the nation. The Prime Minister added that this time around the nation is celebrating the Independence Day in an environment where the economical, social and cultural goals have been achieved. United National Party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe in his Independence Day message says that the democratic and human rights of the people in the country have been suppressed at present, and the free education and free health service have been limited to mere placards. He added that it is the responsibility of all to ensure that the people are given back their democratic rights so that they can enjoy freedom.
An event was held this morning to offer floral tributes to the statue of late Mahamanya D.S. Senanayaka in lieu of the 66th Independence Day celebrations. This event took place in the vicinity of the Senanayaka statue located at Independence Square in Colombo. A number of politicians were present at the event.
He was a leader who back then brought together the Sinhalese, Tamils, Muslims, Malays and the other communities as one, and later to make a request for independence with that united strength at a time when other countries shed blood to achieve independence. He achieved independence in a peaceful manner.
ලේ හලලා ජීවිත පූජා කරලා නිදහස ලබා ගන්න විට දී සේනාක මැතිතුමාට පුළුවන් වුණා ඉතාමත්ම සාමකාමීව මේ රටේ නිදහස ලබා ගන්න.
Tonight on Words of Wisdom, we feature the father of the nation, D.S. Senanayaka.
Peace cannot be established in this world by hatred or revenge or by suspicion or keeping nations under subjection. That would only develop into greater wars and greater misery. D.S. Senanayaka, father of the nation.
Continuing in your local news, 1,233 prisoners received a common presidential pardon today in lieu of Independence Day.
An event was organized in view of the common pardon was held at the sports ground of the Center of Research and Training in Corrections under the auspices of the Minister of Rehabilitation and Prison Reforms. Members of the clergy representing multiple faiths graced the occasion. A prison school is being established in Wataraka. It will be opened this month. This school is intended to educate youth under the age of 30 who have abandoned their education for whatever reason. It will serve as a platform for them to strive for higher education. This will be a public school with teachers from the public sector and it will be governed by the state. The children here will receive an education.
මේ ඉන්න තරුණ දරුවන්ට ඒ අධ්‍යාපන ලැබීමේ වරම් ලැබෙනවා.